Bam. Bam. My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to a brand new episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. We're going to do what we do. We're going to talk boxing. That's exactly what we're going to do on this beautiful Wednesday morning. So let me say good morning to those of you having your breakfast. Enjoy it. If you're on your way to work, if you just woke up, bam. Appreciate you guys dropping in. We're going to talk about Tank Davis, man. John Parham in the building. The general. Salute. Bam. We're going to talk about Tank Davis, man. So, it's all over social media. We found out yesterday that charges against him have been dropped, which leads some of us to believe that the Tank Davis versus Roach rematch may still be in play. Like I told everyone, never been officially canceled. Although Tank Davis did say that next for him would be Manny Pacquiao or a move to 140. But still, I want to see, now that we know Tank Davis will not have to deal with those charges, what's going to be his next move? Where is he going? Is it Manny Pacquiao? Is it a move to the 140 division? Or the one that he did not mention in his response, Roach rematch? That's, in my opinion, that's the fight that Tank should have next. I know that there's going to be other options. Obviously, when you're, as popular as Tank Davis is, he's always going to have options. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't mind seeing Tank Davis go with Shakur next. You guys know this for sure. But the reasonable thing to do is the rematch. John Parham, I think we will get the rematch for sure. Pressure will get too strong. I mean, look, I know that Tank Davis, he sees what the people are saying. He sees, all these boxing fans, people in boxing who are saying that he either lost that fight, that he was gifted the draw, and so on and so forth. So I know what that does. If he says, oh, well, I'm not going to fight the rematch anymore, I decided not to. He knows that that's a hit on his reputation. He knows. Regardless, obviously, Tank Davis is a fighter who has very, loyal fans. He has a fan base, and they're going to support any decision he makes. But there is going to be a backlash if he doesn't take that rematch because of what happened in the first fight. On Lace, you're bam, in the building. What's the deal, my G? Appreciate you dropping in, man. J Jack. Tank a box office star. I watched him lose his last fight to a no-name with fundamentals. I want the Pac-Man fight. 3 fights in total. I mean, Roach is not a famous guy, but you got to understand, he's a world champion. A 130-pounder, I would say, okay, we could say he's a cherry pick gone wrong, I guess. John Parham, any fight outside of Roach or Shakur, he going to catch hell. Unless, if he move up and he fight somebody like Teofimo, Devin, or something crazy like that, which we don't expect him to do. Unlaced. John, salute. Bam. Look, I think that it's like I said, Tank Davis is a big star. He's one of the few fighters in boxing who can say, it's the person I want to fight next. A lot of people can't do that. And because he has options, we have to wait and see what he's going to decide to do. But right now, we already know Tank, he's not going to have to deal with that legal situation. So it's all about what he wants to do next. What's going to be the next move? I say the reason why we're kind of in the air about this is because of what Tank Davis himself said. Remember, when Rick Glazer reported that he was retired, Tank Davis, a few days later, called cap. He was like, nah, that's cap. I'm going to be fighting either Manny Pacquiao or moving up to 140. He didn't mention Lamar Roach at all. So that's why we're kind of in the air, like, okay, that fight hasn't been officially canceled. We're not seeing any pressures for it. What's going on? Christopher Levin, yo, great morning, bro, man. What's the deal, my G? Bam, appreciate you dropping in. On Lace, the Grand Prix, I just finished putting those 2 hours on the treadmill. Damn, the treadmill, I can't do it, man. I can't. I think I've gone a little bit over an hour on a treadmill, but I don't think I ever done 2 hours. I'm gonna tell you something. Tank Davis dodged a bullet. Dodged a bullet, my peoples. The charges would drop because homegirl refused to cooperate. She was like, nah, that's it, I'm out. I'm not gonna cooperate. Charges got dropped. So he dodged the bullet because if she would have went forward with it and followed through with the process, testified, all that stuff, Tank Davis could have faced jail time. That's the thing about these type of arrests, that you could go to court and walk out of there, with probation, with whatever. Or you can also go to court and that same day they could put handcuffs on you and be like, nah, son, we're going to have to put you in there real quick. So Tank Davis could have literally been fighting for his freedom. And that's it. That situation is gone. So now he's going to be able to focus on what's next. What's the next move? Christopher Levin, Tank don't want that smoke with Roach. It doesn't look like he wants that smoke with Roach, I have to be honest, of course. Because if you think about it, look at the first fight, or the only fight, the way that it played out. And I'm going to remind you something. After the fight, one of the first things that Tank Davis said was, I want the rematch. I'm going to actually look for the video, and I'm going to make a video about that. So you see what his mindset was right after the fight. He actually said he wanted a rematch. You know why? Because he felt he lost that fight. He got gifted that draw. So right there, the emotions, the raw emotions of what just happened, he wanted a rematch. But now time has passed. We able to digest what took place in the rings. Like, wait a minute. We watched the video. This guy didn't just get lucky in there. This guy was putting all type of hands on your board. J. Jack, Roach versus Shakur, it's a good one. Tank interview, hard to watch. I saw Rolly other day, answer a few questions. Hurt my ears, my heart to see. T.O. need to fight Ryan Garcia, winner of the T.O. Devon. So, listen, man, Roach versus Shakur is a real good fight. And I think if Tank Davis decides not to fight Lamar Roach, Shakur definitely going to take that fight. They already spoke about it. In fact, Shakur said, and Lamar Roach confirmed, that had Lamar Roach beaten Tank, they would have fought a unification fight. That's what they would have done. And also Shakur is quoted as saying, if Tank don't get... Matter of fact, he posted it himself, I think on Twitter. If Tank don't give you a rematch, you got a title shot with me. You got to understand, right now, Shakur Stevenson doesn't have an opponent lined up. It could be talks, with different people. But as of right now, there isn't a contract with anybody. So technically, Roach can still fight Shakur if things don't work out with Tank. That's all I'm saying. Superman, Jay Smith, good morning. Good morning, my brother. Bam, appreciate you dropping in. Christopher Levin, I got Roach over Shakur. I don't got nobody beating Shakur. And then, the triangle theory, I don't believe in it. Okay, let's just put it out there. But remember, Shakur Stevenson stopped reigning champion Jamel Herring. That's the same Jamel Herring that handed Lamar Roach his only loss. And I'm not saying this about the triangle theory, but Shakur put it on him. Shakur put it on him. I'm trying to tell you, it's the real talk. Shakur will put hands on him, just like that. Boop. With it, Shakur will put hands on him the same way that I got the Veggie Salads account out of here. Boom. But like I said, my peoples, Tank Davis is someone who got. I want to say he got lucky. I want to say he got lucky because he could have potentially ended up in jail. And I think it's interesting to see how people perceive someone when they're a celebrity and they do something, and when it's just the average Joe. Think about it. Some of the things that Tank Davis is alleged to have done, or he's on video, remember when he dragged his girl across the basketball court and all that stuff? Okay. If it's the average Joe in a public setting, they might end up getting jumped by everybody there. All the men there, pop, 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 might beat them up. They see a girl with a black eye, or pop, pop, might get jumped by everybody there. You might be in trouble. But it's a celebrity and one of the biggest names. So it's like, oh, well, shit happens. He fucked up. Let's move on. That's my guy right there. Let's go. Let's go. And then F. Crawford. F. Terrence Crawford. We hate him. Guy never been in trouble. Never did no crazy shit. When he was younger, he went through stuff, but dude is a role model. Dude is a role model. But again, sometimes a person could be so famous that fame exceeds what they done in their personal life to it. It overshadows it. So it becomes kind of like a back burner. Oh, yeah, he's involved in this situation. But at the end of the day, we know that right now, Tank Davis has the opportunity to fight the rematch and make it happen. Make that rematch happen. We want to see it, and we want to see it ASAP. When I tell you we want to see it ASAP, I mean faster than I blocked that account, which it took me like 2 seconds. We want to see that rematch in 1 second be announced. Boom. Is it announced already? Is it? It's not announced yet. But we need it. Johnny Mix Vlog. Appreciate you, brother. Salute. Bam. Y'all already know what it is, man. This is Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. So again, my peoples, are we gonna get that rematch? Come on now. Londines, are you from Batty? I don't know what that is. J Dub, boxing is compromised. You could say that, but whether or not boxing is compromised, we could say that is a conspiracy. This is not a conspiracy channel, my people. Box Center is straight up boxing. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So somebody's gonna need to go on a little break. Somebody's gonna need to go on a little break and have something boxing related instead of conspiracies. Hannibal, salute J. Smith. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The veggie salad. The veggie salad is irate. Hannibal, salute J. Smith. Bam. The veggie salad is irate. Armando Rosado, salute champ. Desde Puerto Rico. Ooh, Puerto Rico's in the building, my peoples. Bam. Machine Daddy, what you take on? My take on changing the subject is that you're going to need a 30-minute break. John Parham, we're going to need to send people on breaks. If you change the subject, you got to go on break, my people. We talking about Tank Davis. We talking about Lamont Roach. We talking about the possibility of Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez being one of the biggest fights in boxing history. Don't be changing the subject because you're going to have to take a break. And the vegetable salad is going to have to take a break. Listen, my peoples. All jokes aside, okay? We can't be putting all that focus on people who don't know shit about boxing and on a damn vegetable salad who's crippled at home, because that's what karma gave them. Let's focus here. Let's do what we came to do. So, look, this whole situation with Tank Davis, we're really just speculating. We're not going to know what direction he's headed in until there's an announcement. Because remember, when he said Manny Pacquiao next or going to 140, that's just a tweet. Let's not cling on to that like, oh my God, he got a contract. That's what he got to do. No, that was just a tweet. Just a tweet. So at this point in the game, he can go any direction he wants to. Although, I think most of us agree, if you don't go the Lamar Roach route, there's going to be backlash. Come on now. There is going to be backlash from it. Hannibal, Tank versus Pacquiao will happen before Tank versus Roach, it seems. That would be crazy. You know what? I have to be honest. I don't think we're going to see Manny Pacquiao step in the ring with Tank Davis. I really don't. And the reason I say that is because I would like to believe that he's wise enough to understand that at his age, he will get pummeled, battered by Tank Davis. It will be a brutal beating. I would like to believe that he knows this. Which is why, who did he go after in his comeback fight? Mario Barrios, which many consider the weaker champion in the division. So would Manny Pacquiao step in the ring with somebody like like Tank Davis? I don't know, bro. I really don't see it. I know Tank would like to do it. That's gonna be a huge payday, and the type of exposure when you're fighting a legend like that. Look, man, the reality is that Manny Pacquiao is like kind of like Canelo Alvarez at 168. And what I mean by that is popularity wise. Everybody wants in on that sweepstake. Everybody wants in on the Manny Pacquiao sweepstake. How many different names have we already seen say, yo, I want to fight Manny Pacquiao. I would love to. Ryan Garcia already said it. Tank Davis already said it. Who else? I think Teofimo expressed interest in getting in there with the legend. Like a bunch of fighters have already expressed interest in fighting him. Floyd already, I think he tweeted that that Pacquiao looked good and a rematch is possible. So it's like Manny Pacquiao is that dude as far as popularity and interest, and people want to fight him. But he has to be smart and say, let me fight the fights that I can win, that I have a chance. I only agree with Manny Pacquiao fighting Floyd Mayweather because they're around the same age. So, in that type of fight, neither one of those guys is really going to hurt each other, They could land some good shots, bam, bam, bam. Maybe even stagger, something like that. But a fight like that where you have a 46-year-old, a 48-year-old, nobody's really going to get hurt like that. So I'm okay with two guys that are around the same age fighting each other. That's why I say, look, right now, I'm 47 years old. I'll step in the ring and box somebody, but I'm not going to do what I did before and get in there with somebody who's 35 years old. If I box somebody, it's going to be somebody that's closer to my age. Look, guys, that's the reason why you haven't seen me stepping in the ring. Because I'm 47 years old, but how hard is it to find an opponent in their 40s? If I want to find somebody that's at least 43, 44. How many 43, 44-year-old professional boxers is walking around, or around my weight, who want to fight? So I think the age factor is something that Manny Pacquiao has to consider, even though he did real good versus Mario Barrios. John Parham, Tank would end up hurting Pac, in my opinion, badly. I'm telling you, bro. Manny Pacquiao step in the ring with Gervonta Tank Davis, he could just go to sleep in such brutal fashion that he might not even be the same. Come out of that fight stuttering. So I don't recommend it myself. And I have to tell you, look, I feel like Manny Pacquiao in his prime would have smoked, Tank Davis. Real talk. Manny Pacquiao, 29, 30-year-old Manny Pacquiao would have smoked Tank Davis. If we watch Manny Pacquiao highlights versus Tank Davis highlights, Tank Davis got that one punch, boom, yeah. But who landed boom, 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 boom? Watch the highlights. People don't even remember what Manny Pacquiao was doing when he was on destruction mode. But 46-year-old Pac-Man versus 30-year-old Pac-Man versus 30-year-old Tank Davis, a 16-year gap, he getting murked out there. He getting brutalized. That's all I'm saying. He's getting brutalized out there. So personally, I don't want to see that fight. I hope it doesn't happen. That's my personal opinion. Christopher Leden, Jay Smith, what's your fight weight? 135. Well, I fought at 135. Ramirez, Manny Pac is more of a power puncher than Tank. Tank is more of an accumulation puncher. I mean, I don't know how you're gonna say that, bro. Tank Davis is one of the guys with the most one-punch knockouts in boxing right now. Like, what are you talking about? That's crazy work. Hannibal, Manny was a beast, and he fought the best in the era. Remy Jeremy, he beat Canelo too, probably. If they fought in a lower weight, like that, because Canelo turned pro at 147. So if they fought at 147, he smokes Canelo. Smokes him. On Lace, John got his ass. Facts. Ramirez, we need Tank versus Shakur or Tank versus Tio. Both of those are good fights. Both of those are real good fights. Tank versus Haney, too. Versus Haney, I like that fight as well. John Parham, Tank versus Ryan would be exciting. Yeah, but we already saw that. I know that Ryan was, like super dehydrated for that fight. The 10-pound weight class, it showed. It showed he looked weak. Superman, I'm hearing they're great and healthy. Ramirez, who did he knock out one punch? He always finished them in the later round. Who did he knock out one punch? Did you watch what he did to Leo Santa Cruz? Did you watch what he did to Rollies? Did you watch what he did to Ryan Garcia? That was one punch, literally. Boom. Done. It's over. What are we talking about, Ramirez? Are you for real? Like some of the most famous fights, it was one punch. Boom. Did you see Frank Martin? The counter punch? Boom. Like, what are we talking about? Tank is the most explosive knockout guy. Like, I don't know, man. Hold on, Ramirez. Take that little 30-minute and watch a couple of Tank Davis highlights and get back to me. Because I don't know what you're talking about. Tank Davis don't got one punch knockout power. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? H3, good morning, bro. Good morning, family. Bam. My people, to those of you who just joined, yo, welcome to a brand new episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Hannibal, Antoine is at 140. How he too big? Antoine is at 140 too big. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't think he too big. Juan Ocasio, Antoine too big for Tank. Oh my God. Yeah, that's Tank Davis. Tank Davis fans always trying to defend him against the best. That's I don't know why Tank Davis fan never look. Tank Davis cannot keep making 135. I've been telling ya. And it's interesting to see because the same day that I did that episode of Boxing for Breakfast where I told you guys, look, Tank Davis, he's going to have to retire if he wants to stay at 135 because he cannot keep making that weight. And a lot of people say, nah, he could keep making it because he's little, he's little. And guess what? That same day, Tank Davis posted that he was going to fight Manny Pacquiao or move up to 140. I told y'all. I told you, my peoples. There's no way that he was going to be able to stay at 135 because what you don't want to understand, what you don't want to accept, bro, Tank be walking around in the 160s, 170s. As bad as you want to believe that Tank is a little dude, he shrink himself down. He got the athleticism, the discipline to shrink himself down to 135. But he ain't no little dude. Tank be walking around looking like a Cabbage Patch Kid. Big as hell. So the notion that no, he's gonna stay at 135, he's too little, and everybody, all the big dogs at 140, they all too big for him. Damn, that's what we call the Tankomaniac Protection Program. Y'all got him on the Tankomaniac Protection Program, where you look for excuse for him to not fight the big dogs. You got Terrence Crawford moving up to 168 to fight Canelo. You got Deon Haney trying to fight Boots, gonna fight Brian Norman Jr. next. You got great fighters moving up. Meanwhile, the Tankomaniac's like, no, he's too little. He's way too little. He can't really go nowhere. What are we talking about, man? Y'all gotta stop with the excuses. Stop with the excuses. Everybody wants their favorite fighters to fight the best. Tank Davis fans, when you mention the best, no, he's too big. No, he's not worthy. No, he don't sell enough tickets. No, he don't. God damn, it's like y'all got an excuse for why he shouldn't fight any of the best. Jesus Christ. Come on, my peoples. Tank Davis is telling you, I'm not going to stay at 135 anymore. I can't make 135 anymore. I'm going to 140. And you're going to tell me the 140 guys are too big for him? Come on. That Tankomaniac Protection Program got to get shut down. Pravin Kovati, salute, appreciate you. Bam. Come on, my people. The Tankomaniac Protection Program has to be shut down. Think about this. Think about this. I say, yo, Tank Davis need to fight Shakur. Nah, because Shakur, he ain't earning. He ain't sell enough ticket. He ain't a pay-per-view star. Oh, shit, fuck, damn. Okay, he should fight Teofimo. Teofimo Lopez is too big. Oh, god damn. He should fight Deon Haney. Deon Haney already moved up. He not in the same weight class. He can't fight Deon Haney. Oh, shit, god damn, then. How about... He's got to fight whoever he want to fight. He's the pay-per-view star. What the hell? That's how they be doing it. That's how they be doing it. Anthony Vasquez, he with Barrios at 140, easy, and then ran right back down to 135 and never defended that title even once. Come on now. Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Anthony, shout out to Pitbull then. That was a good fight. Pitbull showed out. Let's keep it 100. Pitbull showed out. But we also have to acknowledge, my people. Tank Davis beat Pitbull with one hand. That's one thing people like to ignore. Don't ignore it. Do not ignore it. One-handed. And you know what's something funny? I was calling that fight live. If you go back and you watch it, I promise you're going to see. Guess what? In the third or fourth round, there's a moment when Tank Davis hit Pitbull in the head, and you hear like, bah! And you literally hear Tank Davis go, ah! And I said it. Yo, he hurt his hand. Tank Davis hurt his hand, my people. He's hurt. And from that moment on, you saw Tank Davis mostly using one hand throughout the entire fight against Pitbull. So yes, Pitbull fought good. But if you want to hate on Tank, you don't want to acknowledge that he hurt his hand. And it was clear and obvious. I was calling that fight live, my people. So if you know me, you know Jay Smith never capped. If I'm telling you it went down that way, you can take that to the bank to get some pounds. Or you can YouTube the fight and see for yourself. He hurt his hand. hard. He caught Pitbull with a hard punch to the head. He was ah, and then that's it. The fight played out the way that it did. So he beat him with one hand. The notion that we need a rematch because Pitbull gave it to him. Now we don't need a rematch. If Tank don't have a hurt hand, he's just gonna dominate Pitbull and make it look easy. Anthony Vasquez, facts. I'm saying. Juan Ocasio, is Tank Roach happening? I mean, we have to think that it's possible. Right now, Tank Davis, his legal troubles are gone. Charges got dropped. So that's it. That's the reason that we thought this fight was done. Like, okay, he's dealing with a situation where it's his freedom on the line here. You know, if it's your freedom on the line, forget boxing. You're trying to stay a free man. But that's it. Charges is dropped. So now, Mr. Tank Davis is able to do whatever he wants. Because remember, he was out on bail. Even that has restrictions. There were certain things Tank Davis was not able to do while out on bail. That's it. Legal problems are done. What is he going to do next? We'll find out. But I said it before, and I find it interesting. When Rick Glazer posted that Tank Davis is retiring, supposedly, what happened? What happened then? Tank Davis responded by saying, cap. I'm coming back and I'm going to fight either either Manny Pacquiao or move up to 140. If he's going to move up to the 140 division, who is he going to fight? Who is he going to fight? That's the interesting thing to consider, my people. Who is he going to fight? Everybody wants to see him fight Mr. Lamont Roach. I think we all agree that Lamont deserved a rematch. He deserves it. Come on now. He deserves that rematch. Give it to him. Give it to him. If not, how many people are going to say that Tank Davis ducked Lamont Roach? If Lamont Roach does not give, if the Lamont Roach does not get his rematch, people are going to say Tank Davis ducked him. And guess what? Guess what? This is going to put some pressure on Tank Davis. Because if he don't give him the rematch, Shakur's going to give him a title shot. Now, what happens if Shakur fight Lamont Roach and he put all type of hands on him, dominate him, make it look easy even? What then? That's going to put more pressure on Tank Davis. Like, damn. Now people are going to be like, yo, you've been ducking Shakur. And look what he did to Lamont Roach. Now we know. Now we understand why you don't want that fight. DJ and J, salute. Appreciate you. Now we know. In a way, Tank Davis is under pressure right now. And my people, some of y'all ducking that like button the same way Tank Davis is ducking Shakur. The same way. Come on, hit that like button. But in a way, Tank is under pressure, and I'm going to tell you why. That first fight with Lamont Roach is something that people feel like he has to redeem himself from. It's like, yo, look. Look what happened in that fight. Okay. Look what happened in Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. And the way that fight played out. A lot of people walked out of that one feeling like Lamont Roach won the fight. A lot of people was like, yo, he's done. He's done. He lost that fight. We actually determined that it was a draw because, hey, that's it. They said it's a draw. We have to accept it. But then, was that really a draw? And then we negate You know, the famous Tank Davis taking a knee and the famous Vaseline in the eyeballs. Come on now. Come on, my peoples. So we have to understand, right now, that rematch has to happen. Or Tank Davis is going to duck it. But if he does, who is he going to fight next? Who is he going to fight next? Is he going to be able to, you know, cherry pick another 130 pounder? And you know, have Tankamaniacs be like, yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Juan Ocasio, Tank checked out mentally. Damn, look at that, man. Y'all be playing psychologist over social media posts. How do you know Tank's state of mind? I have no idea, bro. Like, I don't even see Tank Davis talking. I see a few posts here and there, a few tweets. Somehow you know his state of mind. That's crazy, bro. Like, I'm telling you, Tankomaniacs, y'all come up with the craziest logic, bro, that I could never understand. Y'all know how Tank Davis feels. Y'all don't want him to fight any other bands. Y'all think he's too little for everybody. I don't understand the Tankomaniac logic, bro. Y'all don't use that logic for nobody else. For nobody else but for Tank Davis. Come on, man. Come on, my peoples. Come on, my peoples. We got to be real. We got to keep it 100. We got to keep it 100. Tank Davis has to fight Lamont Roach. That is what's reasonable. That is what's fair. And if he doesn't, it's going to be a duck. If he doesn't, it's going to be a clear duck move. But I'm going to tell you something, guys. In boxing, there are, not just in boxing, in every sport, there's athletes that are role models and there's athletes that are not role models, right? So let me ask you the question, guys. Is Tank Davis a role model? For the Tank Davis fans, Mr. Ocasio, who's a hardcore Tank Davis fan. Ocasio, do you think that Tank Davis is a role model? And to those of you who just joined, welcome to a new episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. If you're having breakfast right now, enjoy it. If you're on your way to work, if you just woke up, we talking this boxing stuff right here. So, Juan Ocasio, let me know. Do you think that Tank Davis is a role model? Well, I'm not saying that that's what you think. I'm asking you the question, right? Because you're saying hell no. But when we talk about idolizing fighters, right? When we talk about defending them, when we talk about pushing for them, come on now. Pat Brady, he's a warrior. You can say that. But that doesn't really answer the question. Is he a role model? Is he, for example, the guy that you want your kids to be like? Okay, Tay, we got it. Boom. Salute, Tay. Yeah, he a role model. Okay. Now, why do you think that he's a role model, Tay? I'm interested in what you have to say. Joe Jack and Tank is not a warrior with his rehydration clause. Nah, listen. Everybody who step in the ring is a warrior. Everybody. Trust me, real talk. Well, I guess Tay don't want to say why Tank is a role model. J Smith, Albert Ocasio, Tank need help. I see him on the news for beating women 5 times. Okay, he's been in trouble. He's been in trouble for that situation. But what does that have to do with checking out mentally? There's guys that beat up their girls their whole life and still go perform at the highest level for their whole career. Like, what are we talking about? What him being involved in these situations haven't stopped him from performing at a championship level. You're actually proving my point. George Jackson, Buzz said no to rehydration clause with Canelo. And I like that. I like that he did that. You know why? Because that would have just been an excuse. Terrence Crawford whoops Canelo Alvarez, gives him the beating of a lifetime, and that would have been the excuse. Oh, nah, because, there was a rehydration clause, and Canelo wasn't able to really fully rehydrate, and there ain't gonna be no excuse, bro. As long as you make weight, as long as you step on that scale, and you hit that 168 mark, you could do whatever you want for the next day. You're gonna weigh whatever you want. We both open, baby. Let's get it. Pause. Super pause. TJ, women be lying for a bag. You're right, women be lying for a bag, but when you see a woman with a huge black eye, and when you see a woman getting dragged in a basketball court, it doesn't sound too good on your side. Because what you're saying is, as long as somebody's famous enough, even if I see evidence, I'm going to say stuff like this, that women lie. That's the reason why people keep doing it. Because they're always going to have people around them that's going to defend them. That's going to defend them, that's going to hide it, that's going to look away, that's going to try to point at the woman. You know how messed up it is for a woman to get beat up and then you to point at her like it's her fault? Shit, that's wicked. So I'm not saying that women lie and I'm not saying that they don't. All I'm saying is that we're not talking about women. We're talking about the ones that we seen get beat up by Tank. So what is your point in bringing up women? Women lie. Like, men lie too. What did we talk? Everybody lies. Come on now. Don't bring up women lie just to try to defend a guy that we seen on video put hands on women. Like, come on. T-Man Toss. Tank is a global superstar, not Crawford. So what are you saying? If you're a global superstar, you could beat up women? Is that what you're saying? I'm not connecting the two. It's hard to make that connection. But, I don't know. Somehow you guys figure it out. Tay, but I don't care about people's personal life. I mind my business. Nah, that's cool. That's cool. You can mind your business. But you're the one that said that he was a role model. So you went from saying that he was a role model to now you don't care about his personal life. Like, that's crazy. For somebody to be a role model is based off of what they do in their personal life. That is what makes you a role model. So you can't say that Tank Davis is a role model and they say, well, I don't care about the personal life. But, okay, you got it, champ. Joe Jacket, thanks casual fans only know Tank. That's the thing. Tank is a popular guy. Popular enough that people will ignore, the things that he's going through. And I'm gonna tell you what. I'm not judging Tank Davis. Okay, I'm not judging him because he's a man. He's a human being. Shit happens in real life. You don't know the circumstances, the situations that he's involved in. So I'm not judging him. But all I'm saying is that it's very different the way people view a famous person when they do something as they see somebody who's an average Joe do the same thing. Pat Brady, dude ain't no role model. His ability is to be admired. His personal life ain't my business. Of course, his personal life ain't your business because you want to admire his ability. So you're able to look the other way. You see, if it was a guy across the street from your house beating up his girl the same way, Tank Davis, you and all your neighbors might jump that dude, beat the crap out of him. But he's a celebrity. So you're like, hey, his personal life ain't my business. Look at the difference between the way we view celebrity and the way we view average Joes. If it was you dragging your girl across a basketball court, you might get jumped by 2 basketball teams on site. But it was Tank Davis. People, it's like I said, when it's a big name celebrity, it's easy to look away and act like we don't know. Or blame the women. Look how people who's already saying, nah, yo, women be lying. These women be lying, though. Come on now. We have to understand. We have to understand what it is. If he made a mistake, cool. He made a mistake. He's made that mistake multiple times. Maybe anger management or some type of help so he can stop landing in these situations. But it's all about the way we perceive it. Cool. It's what I'm telling you guys. I wouldn't put my hand on a woman. I know a lot of people would not. But we maybe never been in a situation. That's the point. We never been in a situation. He's been in a situation where he ended up putting his hands on a woman. We don't know why. No need to judge. The charges was dropped. But how do you view it? When it's a celebrity and when it's an average Joe? How do you react when you've already seen a video of Tank dragging this chick across the basketball court? And how would you react if you standing right there and somebody? And then the magic question comes. It gets elevated. How would you react if it's a dude dragging your daughter across the basketball court? Or how would you react if it's a dude dragging your mom? So you see, all of these things, when you put them in play, you start to realize, damn, when it's a celebrity, I look at it different. But if that shit happen to me, I ain't gonna let it roll no more. I'm only letting it roll because that's a celebrity boxer and he on TV. Whoever he did that to, that's not somebody I'm ever gonna meet. You know what? She probably lying for money. Fuck it, she might be lying. I don't care. If I saw a picture with a black eye or a shorty getting dragged, I don't care. She probably lying anyways for the dough. Come on, my people. Come on, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Somebody need a 24-hour break for the great comment. Take a little 24-hour break, family. Hannibal, Tank versus Shakur should have happened already. I agree with you 100%, man. Tank versus Shakur is a fight that we should have been got, but with Tank Davis being 30 years old and Shakur being 28, the timing is perfect. The timing is perfect for Tank Davis versus Shakur. That's the one thing. You see how Tank aged out Lomachenko and tried to fight him right before he retired? And Loma was like, nah, I'm good, family. Lomachenko was smart. Shakur is younger than Tank. You can't age him out. If anything, you're going to age yourself out. And now you're going to get your ass whooped worse. You can't age Shakur out. He's younger than you. Not just younger, he's in great shape. He don't take a lot of punishment in his fights. He good. You 30, he 28. He's ready to go whenever you are. He ready. Come on now. He ready to go. That's all I'm saying. He's ready. So Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis is a fight that has to happen. Is it gonna happen? Look, man. If Tank Davis ducks Lamont Roach, it gets harder and harder to see him fighting Shakur. Getting harder. Because at the end of the day, if he's not fighting this guy that he brought up from the 130 division, that he was supposed to knock him out, or at least that was the expectations, if you don't rematch this guy who gave you a hard time, he ain't fighting no Shakur. He ain't doing it. No, I don't see it. Jeff Stephens, great boxer, terrible human being. I wouldn't say he's a terrible human being. I would say he's a good human being who's dealing with demons that he hasn't been able to escape. Who's dealing with internal shit. I think Tank Davis is a guy who goes to therapy and he'll be a whole different dude. Because if you think about it, that's the only controversy that you see Tank Davis involved in. Him having situations with his significant other. Tank is not a guy who's going out getting in trouble, getting into beef, getting into all type of shit. He just got that situation. So obviously he has maybe some type of emotional issues, whatever it may be. But I wouldn't say he's a horrible person based on that, because like I said, he could be dealing with something and then everything else, he could be the greatest guy. You don't know if he's that dude who help people around, help people from his hood, help feed people, give people stuff. So he probably does a lot of good things. But those are overshadowed by that. Christopher Leden, she gave him a get out of jail free card. It's over. Let's move forward. Talking boxing, not legalities. You're 100% right. That's it. He's not going to jail. He's moving forward. So then go ahead and tell me, what do you think should be next for Tank Davis? Answer me that. What should be next? Should it be the Lamont Roach rematch? Or should he move on? We already know he spoke about Manny Pacquiao. I'm not sure if Manny would ever take that fight, but there's the option of going to 140. So then who would he be fighting over there? Hannibal, Roach rematch or move to 140? To me, those are the two most logical options. The rematch or the move to 140. But if he moves to 140, let's not act like he didn't duck Roach. Come on now. Let's not make it a legit excuse. Oh, no, he left. People are going to go from, he's too little, to, nah, yo, he was too big. He had to go. He couldn't fight Roach because he had to move up. No. It's a duck move. If his next fight is at 140, he ducked Lamont Roach. I'm not going to let you guys skip over that one. Go get the money. I'm starting not to believe her because this is her second time getting him locked up and dropping charges. No, 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 bro. You don't want to believe her because you're a tankomaniac. That's the reason why. You'd never. You're saying now that you're starting not to believe her, but you've never believed her. The first time around and any time around, you've never believed it. Come on now. Don't say that you're starting not to. Stop it, bro. Jefe Stevens. So you think the video is altered? I don't know. I guess Go Get the Money thinks that the video of him dragging her across the basketball court was altered. Or I think that was another girl. That was a different girl, I think. But I don't know. Go Get the Money must have thought that video was. I don't. I don't even think they was making AI videos when that one came out. But whatever. Okay, Go Get the Money. I don't know. Maybe that video left your memory somehow. Tay, J. Smith bias. You say J. Smith bias, but tell me what am I saying that suggests that I'm biased? You're biased because you want to look away from the facts and you want to point away from it. And you want to, so when I point at the facts, you say, no, you're biased. Look, earlier you was like, Tank Davis, he's a role model. And then when I said, wait a minute, but this, and this, how is he a role model? Tell me. Oh, you know what? In reality, I look at what he does in the ring, but I don't care about his personal life. Look how you segued into something else. Why? Because you know he's not a role model. You was capping. So now when you say that I'm being biased, you capping. Because I'm not leaning towards any direction. I'm just calling out the facts. Come on. Let's be realistic here. I'm biased for calling out the facts. K-Man, give Tank what he asked from Turkey. 3 Lamborghinis. 1 Shakur, 2 Till, 3 Devin. Those are the 3 Lamborghinis. Shakur, Till, and Devin. Take that back to back. Nah, look. Honestly, I personally believe that Tank Davis should step in the ring with Lamar Roach because Roach earned that rematch. So my favorite fight for Tank is him and Shakur. That's my favorite fight. But I can't knock Lamar Roach for what he did in the first one. Can't do it. You got to respect it. Tay, I don't, but it's literally other boxers accused for the same stuff, and you only mention Tank's stuff. Okay, what are the other boxers? Tay, what are the other boxers? Take your time. Take your time, Tay. What are the other boxers? I'm pretty sure you're going to have to Google it. So Google it and come back to me. Tell me who the other boxers are that are doing it and I don't talk about it. I'll wait. Hannibal. Roach definitely earned it. Come on now. After that, he won that fight. Most of us accepted him as the winner of that fight. Without the knee, that should have been a knockdown. He won that fight. The knee should have just made it more decisively. So after being gifted a draw, of course, Tank Davis is under pressure to give that rematch, which is very much anticipated. There's people who see Lamar Roach winning that rematch. Me being one of them. Sunshine, just stop in. I'm new here. Hope you have an amazing day. Appreciate you dropping in. Bam. Go get the money. John P., I can respect that. George Jackson, take your time. I'm letting him take his time. Ain't no rush, right? Tay, Devin Shakur, but it's literally footage of Shakur beating up a woman at a gas station. Tay, I'm pretty sure you're aware that that footage is from like 10 years ago or more. How do you know that I didn't talk about it? How do you know that I didn't post about it 50 times? Because at that time, I didn't have a YouTube channel. I just have Facebook. How do you know what the hell I was saying 10 years ago? So you see, you look goofy as hell. And the Deon Haney one, I actually did post about it. So if you're new to the channel, go back. The receipts are up. Go to the dates, and you see that I posted about Devon's fight in public. Him putting hands on somebody. Looking goofy as hell. So you see, Tay, you're 100% wrong. I'm not biased at all. I talk about everybody. So I'm sorry, but it's easy to debunk your statement. But for you to say, look, you're biased, I want you to think about what you're saying, Tay. You're saying that I'm biased because I'm talking about Tank stuff and I don't talk about other people's. And you bring up some shit from Shakur from over 10 years ago? Who do you see talking about that, bro? If you go all over social media, you're going to see people talking about the Tank Davis situation because his charges got dropped yesterday. You know, that's current. That's currently going on. And you're comparing that to some shit from 10 years ago that there is not a single outlet on social media talking about it. You're wilding out. You see that right there? You're showing that you're a tankomaniac. As a tankomaniac, what do? Let me attack Shakur? Let me attack somebody else? What are we doing, man? You grow as a culture. We grow as a culture when we take accountability and we say we fucking up. We can't grow as a culture by always trying to point at somebody else. But this person did it too. And that person did it too. And how about that person? God damn, you want to talk about everyone except the guy who just was involved in this shit yesterday, whose shit got cleared yesterday. That's crazy. Crazy logic, bro. Just business. What's the topic? Let's get this uppercut going. So, you know that Tank Davis, his whole situation got cleared. Yesterday, the charges was dropped against him. And it's all about what is he going to do next. Is he going to fight the rematch with Lamont Roach? Or is he going to move up in weight to fight Manny Pacquiao or to go to 140? What is he going to do? What is he going to do next? He has a lot of options, my peoples. This is what I've been saying. Tank Davis is a big star, one of the biggest stars in boxing, and he has options. He's going to be able to fight whoever he wants to fight. But there is going to be backlash if he does not fight Lamont Roach. I promise you. You don't fight Lamont Roach, and people are going to say you duck. Because we saw how that first fight played out. And by the way, right now, Shakur Stevenson doesn't have an opponent lined up. Doesn't have an opponent lined up. So I'm just saying, if you're not going to fight Lamont Roach, Shakur's right there. I know Shakur, was going back and forth with Teofimo Lopez on Twitter. And not only that, you saw Eddie Hearn and His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh in New York. You guys know that Teofimo is from New York and Shakur is from New Jersey. So one of the things that crossed my mind is that, they can actually be out there trying to close the show, trying to make the fight happen between them two. That's a possibility, maybe. Hannibal, Teo don't want that Shakur smoke. I mean, he's out there looking like he's ready for it. And you know what? I'm not even willing to say that Teo doesn't want that smoke because look at his resume. Look at the people that he's fought already. So Teofimo Lopez has shown us that he's about that smoke. He's shown us. He trying to get paid. He want to get his money. But he's shown us that he's about that smoke. John Parham, Tank and Pac-Man is diabolical either way. Come on, man. Tank versus Pac-Man is just diabolical, bro. George Atkins, Shakur going to run. I mean, George Atkins, you said the same thing about Zepeda and then watched them get pummeled. And you still going to keep using that line? That's nasty work. That's diabolical. You've been saying that the whole time to hate on Shakur. He put the beast on Zepeda inside of a phone booth, and you're going to keep using that narrative? That's diabolical. You are wicked. Wicked. J. Jack, Shakur, Haney, Teo, Tank. I mean, he wants those fights, but if they don't want to fight him, how? How can you fight people that don't want to fight you? That's the problem. We want Shakur to fight these guys, and these guys don't want to fight him. I don't know why people have a hard time admitting that Shakur is the real boogeyman. People don't like to admit that. Nah, he's not the boogeyman because he's not killing people out there. Come on now. Look around. If you look for video footage, you'll find video of almost everybody, all the big dogs, one way or another saying that they don't want to fight Shakur. Almost all of them. Say, oh, nah, I wouldn't fight him because he's too boring. Or I wouldn't fight him because he doesn't sell. Or I wouldn't fight him because, you know, why he hasn't earned it. Or I wouldn't fight him because... Bro, they have all the reasons under the sun as to why they're not trying to fight him. And it all goes down to one thing. And it's Shakur Stevenson is the real boogeyman. He truly is the boogeyman in the division, my people. When you see that none of the guys that are... Because here's the deal, too. And I want you guys to understand this. A guy that's at the bottom calling you out, that's meaningless to you. Because he's the one trying to get up. He's the one trying to put his name out there. So, for example, somebody like Floyd Scofield calling out Shakur, that means nothing. Shakur make it look easy against him. That means nothing. It's the big boys. It's the Teofimo Lopez. It's the Deon Haney. It's the Tank Davis. It's the Lomachenkos when he was active. You don't see none of them guys expressing any interest in wanting to fight Shakur ever. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. That's all I can tell you, my peoples. Hannibal, I think Shakur should have taken that 25 and called Haney bluff. That's because, Hannibal, you don't like Shakur. You don't like Shakur. You're a Deon, you know, you always root against Shakur, so you feel that way. This is the only time in history where fans decided to argue the offer that a fighter needs to take and decided to ignore that Deon Haney ran from the division and vacated his title. You see how you wish what business move Shakur did? I actually wish Deon Haney would have went to Persbit and defended his title against Shakur. Why you don't wish that? That's what I don't understand. Why you don't wish that Deon defended his title? I don't get it. I don't get it. What is the point? What is the point? Somebody's on a 24-hour break. Talk boxing, say something interesting. That's corny to just step in and say something like that. Tay, how was that rooting against Shakur? Come on, bro. Come on. Shakur Stevenson haters always use the same logic. Oh, you all say the same thing. I'm waiting for... Yo, Tay, I'm waiting for you to tell me the last one that you're going to tell me that I'm definitely going to know that you're a Shakur hater. Nah, yo, I'm really a Shakur Stevenson fan, though. I'm really his fan. Go ahead, tell me that one. That's the only one that you're missing already. Hannibal, why go to Persbit and get the lesser money? You see, Hannibal, this is why you need Box Center, because with Box Center, you get educated and you learn, and you don't say goofy stuff like that. Let me explain to you something. When you go to Persbit, the champion gets between 75 and 80%. You know what that means? That if they would have went to Persbit, Deon Haney was going to get the same amount of money or possibly more. The Persbit could have awarded him 80% and Shakur 20%. So in other words, what Shakur did was, you're going to make me that offer and force me to take what you want, we're going to Persbit. And Deon Haney's reaction, oops, I'm leaving the division and vacating the title. So instead of you holding Deon Haney accountable for not defending his title, you're saying that Shakur should have took the offer. Now you're a manager. Now you're a manager. You're a business manager. You decide what offer fighters need to take. When did we start doing this? With Shakur Stevenson, because you hate him. Come on now. That hate is too much and too obvious. Y'all really saying, yo, he should have took the offer. He should have took the offer. But then when I say, wait a minute, but Devin vacated the title, so Devin shouldn't have defended the title. So Shakur should have took Devin's offer. You feel like Shakur had to do what Devin wanted, but you didn't want Devin to defend his title? You don't think he should have defended it? I don't get it. I really don't understand that, my people. I really don't. The whole logic, I don't get it, my people. I honestly don't. You have to help me understand it. How a fighter leaves the division, doesn't defend, but he's not ducking because he made an offer. Because what you're really saying is that Shakur, according to you, got to do what Devin say. He's the mandatory. He don't got to do what Devin say. He don't got to do what Devin say. In the history of boxing, we never seen this before. Where a guy pull his mandatory card, but he got to do what the other guy say according to you. Oh, my goodness. The level of hate for Shakur, that logic only makes sense inside your head. It only makes sense inside your head because you hate Shakur. But trust me, just because it makes sense inside your head, once you spit it out, it doesn't sound as good as you think it does. The world champion has to defend his title. It's on him to defend his title. That's how it's been since boxing was invented. You have to defend your title versus your mandatories. Deon Haney did not defend his title versus his mandatory because he vacated and left the division. So no matter how much you want to say, well, Shakur should have took the offer. I'm a boxing manager and I know how boxing business works from watching boxing on TV and watching boxing on Facebook and social media. I know business of boxing and Shakur should have done what I say. It sounds good inside your head. But once you say it, it really doesn't sound that good, bro. Trust me on that. It doesn't sound as good as you think. Tay, it's a lowball offer or not, take the 25%. Okay, there we go. We have a manager. We got the managers in the building. You know, that's why I tell you, did you guys see my Kung Fu videos? If you watch my Kung Fu videos, I look like a fool. You know why I look like a fool when I'm doing those Kung Fu moves? Because the only thing that I ever done was watch Kung Fu movies. I never practiced Kung Fu. You see, so there's the metaphor. I'm trying to show you, Tay, how you look. There's the metaphor. You see how I look like a fool doing Kung Fu? Because I never practiced it. I just watched it on TV. So when you're giving your opinion about the way a fighter should conduct business, you look like a fool because you never fought, you never been in the ring, you never been involved in boxing. You know as much boxing as I know Kung Fu. You see how I look like a fool trying to do Kung Fu? That's the same way you look talking about what kind of deal a fighter should have took. You look like a fool. That's what you... So it sounds good inside your head. When I'm doing all these Kung Fu moves, you know, it feels like I'm doing it. I think I'm doing it. But then when I watch the video, I'm like, God damn, I look like a fool. Why the hell I felt like a grand Shaolin master when I was performing it, and now I see the video, I look like a fool. Same deal, brother. That logic about you explaining what type of business a fighter needs to do and how they need to do and what they need to agree to, that's the same thing. That you are my version of doing Kung Fu is you giving out your business opinion on boxing. I know it sounds good in your head. I feel good when I'm doing the Kung Fu. But nah, when I watch the video, I look like shit. Everybody sees the video, knows I don't know shit about Kung Fu. Everybody reads your comments, know you don't know shit about boxing. Gregory Stevens, I saw Kung Fu Panda. That's a good movie. That's a good movie. Joe Jackson, I swear, he's saying Kung Fu. Juan Ocasio, bro, doing Kung Fu veggie style. Shakur is the boogeyman at 135. Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know shit about Kung Fu. You don't know shit about the business of boxing. What is you talking about? Yo, nah, because the 25%, he should have took that offer because the way. And it's like, okay, how many boxing contracts have you seen? Oh, I never seen one. Okay, how many boxing negotiations have you been in? No, I never been involved in it. Oh, but you know the business that he should have done. Ay, Dios mío, ve. No entiendo. I don't get it. So I'm pretty sure when you're saying it inside your head, you killing it. When you saying it inside your head, you cooking. Yeah, Shakur should have took that off 25%. Yeah, inside your head, you probably cooking when you say that shit. Gregory Stevens, you looking for some fights? If I'm looking for some fights, well, nah. What I'm really looking for is to give 30-minute timeouts. Hannibal, just disappointed that fight didn't happen. Bro, listen. That fight, I was following it very, very closely. And when I tell you I was following it closely, the week of the purse bid, that Monday, I posted a video saying, my peoples, Deon Haney is not going to be able to run from Shakur anymore. Think about that. My peoples, Deon Haney is not going to be able to run from Shakur anymore. They going to purse bid. It's over. He going to have to fight him. I posted that on a Monday. And then on a Wednesday, I see a post from Deon Haney. I decided to leave the division. It was like Wednesday or Thursday. I decided to leave the division and I'm going to be vacating this belt. And I'm like, wait a minute. The purse bid was 3 days away. Do you understand that a fighter could go to purse bid and then decline the offer if they want to? Do you understand that Deon Haney could have went to the purse bid just to see if he's going to get more money? And then if he didn't like it, declined? But he chose not to go to the purse bid. Do you want me to explain to you why he didn't go to the purse bid? The reason that he didn't go is because he never intended to fight Shakur Stevenson. He sent that 25% offer so that you goofballs could use it in the future. Like, no, he didn't, dog. Look at the 25%. Deon Haney successfully pulled off the old duck move without looking like I'm ducking. Because I sent an offer. And y'all really bought that shit. It's not that you really bought it. It's that you hate Shakur. So anything that you could cling on to, you want to believe it. But Deon Haney had a purse bid in 3 days. And he skipped it altogether. Let me give you an example. Boo Boo went to purse bid with Johnny Beck. And he didn't like it. He didn't fight him. He was like, nah, I'm not fighting him. But he went to the purse bid to find out how much money he could get. He didn't like the offer. He pulled out. Deon Haney could have did the same thing. It was 3 days away. 3 days away from the purse bid. 3. And he's like, nah, I'm out of here. Come on. Hannibal. But when you say he had a championship fight at 140, you're saying that he made an offer to Shakur? So is the offer fake? Because you can't have it both ways. You can't say the offer was real and the 140, he had to leave because of the 140 fight. Obviously, the offer was never real. He never intended to fight Shakur. He made that offer so that you guys can say he didn't duck. The old duck without looking like I'm ducking technique. Pulled it off successfully on you. Pulled it off successfully right in front of your eyes. He made you ignore the fact that he vacated a title and left the division. He really made you ignore that. He really made you guys ignore how these negotiations ended. He made you ignore that by making that offer. That offer was the biggest cap move pulled successfully in boxing history. Right there. Deon Haney never intended to fight Shakur. That's why he left the division. That's why he didn't go to the purse bid. He didn't want to fight him. You guys know he didn't want to fight him. Everybody knows. We don't have to play like that. Come on now. JJ said that. I said better be about boxing. K-Man. I see Hannibal's point. Shakur takes the 25%. Nah. You don't see Hannibal's point. You want to agree with his point, which is different. Say, 140 Gary said he'll come down to 135 to fight Shakur. Okay, I don't know what is the point of that. He said that he will. Like, you're talking about what he said that he will. Like, hello, Shakur Stevenson is at 135 ready to fight Tank Davis. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis are both in the 135 division. It's like you want Shakur to fight everybody else, and you want Tank to fight everybody else. Why y'all so scared of Shakur Stevenson fighting Tank, man? What's the fear? It's like you guys say all the time that Tank will knock Shakur out. But as soon as we talking about opponents, you never want to match up Shakur with Tank. Why y'all scared of him, bro? Come on now. Come on, my peoples. We got to keep it real. Tay, why Shakur ain't accept his challenge? That's the problem that you're facing. That Shakur did not decline the challenge because he sent them to purse bid. So they were still in negotiations. Well, you don't know. Let me ask you a question. Look how simple it is, Tay, what you're doing right now, so that you can see that your logic is good inside your head, but it's horrible. It's a horrible logic. I'm going to break it down for you so you can make it simple. Tell me, Tay, and this question is for you specifically, Tay, what is your favorite movie that you watch? Old school movie. Tell me an old school movie. Did you see The Godfather? Did you see The Godfather or did you see Scarface? Okay, Tay, cool. But I'm asking you a question, Tay. Did you see The Godfather or did you see Scarface? Look, I'm going to help you out real quick. Tay. So, guys, if you saw Scarface, okay, Scarface, good. So watch this, my peoples. This is how Shakur Stevenson fans saw the Scarface movie. Shakur Stevenson fans, when they tell you the Scarface movie, they be like, yo, Tony Montana, he became a millionaire and got mad money. And they finish telling you the story right there. Does it make sense? Is that how the movie really finished? Why they finished the movie when Tony Montana was a millionaire? They lying to you? At the end of the movie, Tony Montana got killed. Got shot in the back of the head, right? That's the way the movie happened. So, Tay, in case you don't understand where I'm going with it, you're supposed to tell the movie all the way. If you tell the movie up until Tony Montana was a millionaire, then you're going to be lying because you didn't tell the whole movie. So you love to cling on to Shakur Stevenson not accepting the offer and your opinion that he should have accepted the offer. But that's not where the movie finished, buddy. Shakur Stevenson was the mandatory, and the movie finished when Deon Haney vacated the title and ran from the division. That's when the movie finishes. Why you don't want to tell that part? You seem to want to cling on to the part of the story that you like best. But no matter what part of the story you want to tell, we know how it played out. Good morning, Ryan. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Tell the whole story, my peoples. Tell the whole story. Let me get your slippers. Wait up. Let me get your slippers for you. Come on, my peoples. We got to learn to tell the whole story. Instead of, we have so much hate for a fighter that we turn into managers and make the argument about what business decision we think he should have took. Like, it sounds good inside your head, but My advice to you, Tay, and to everybody else, try to stay away from giving your opinion about business decisions regarding businesses that you've never been involved in. Don't do it to yourself. Don't don't do it to yourself, bro. You talking about this guy should have took this percentage and should have did this business. But I've never been involved in that business, but I'm an expert and I can give him advice about what he should have done. Don't do that, bro. That's I know it sounds good inside your head, but it's it's not. My people. Joe Jacket, what's your Bug Canelo prediction? So I got Terrence Crawford winning by unanimous decision. I've said it before. I expect a competitive fight. I think that, not I think, I know that Canelo Alvarez is a great fighter. There's a reason why he's the face of boxing, when he's as accomplished as he is. So you have to expect him, to put up a good fight. But I think that Crawford has the physical assets to offset a lot of the things that Canelo does. Specifically the body punching. Come on, put this on. I think that we're going to see Crawford, be successful in stopping Canelo from doing some of the things that he does. And I don't make stuff up from the top of my head just because I'm trying to hate, which I see. Después que coma, after you eat breakfast. Come on. This way. Where you going? Let's go this way around. I'm gonna play cartoons for you. Come on. Hell yeah, 36 likes. Appreciate y'all, man. Hannibal, Bug gonna watch out for them live punches. Bug gotta watch out. It's an uphill. Canelo has cement chin. It's an uphill battle. Canelo has cement chin. See, that's the problem. Look at your focus, Hannibal. And that's the main focus for the people rooting for Canelo. That Canelo's strong, that Canelo's big. That's it. Meanwhile, you watched. Think about it. You watched two people who didn't use power beat Canelo and even make it look easy. Make it look easy. Well, I guess you didn't learn from that. But I will tell you what you didn't learn. Power does not beat skills. Power doesn't beat skills. Come on now. Ramirez, I feel they may call it a draw. If it's close enough, I think it could be a draw. But if it's for it to be a draw, I think it has to be a fight that Crawford wins slightly and they give it a draw. But an actual draw, it goes to Canelo's favor, in my opinion. Like, if they actually fight to a draw where we feel like one guy won 6 rounds and the other guy won the other 6, if that happens, it goes to Canelo. If it's too close, it goes to Canelo. But I already told you, it's not. It's not going to be that way. This fight, it is going to be close in the beginning, the first 6, 7, 8 rounds, 9 rounds. It's going to be close. But then Terrence Bud Crawford is going to start taking over. And in those championship rounds, man, he's going to put all type of hands on Canelo. I'm telling you guys right now. Joe Jacket, can Bud get knocked down once and still win against Canelo? Listen, these are two great fighters. Either guy, both guys can hit the canvas for the first time in their career and get up and still win the fight. So it's not about that. We're talking about these are two great fighters. Now, being dropped is always going to depend on how you were dropped. Because if either guy goes down and they're hurt bad, they could get stopped. Crawford can stop Canelo if he hurt him, and Canelo can do the same. So it's all about if someone gets hurt. Tiny, Crawford will have the judges on his side. Nah. That would be more of a conspiracy. We don't know that. We don't know who the judges are or if they're gonna be on anybody's side. And it's gonna be the type of fight that I don't think the judges is gonna decide it just because it's not gonna be close like that. Hold on, Ryan. It's not gonna be close to where the judges will be the ones to decide it. Joe Jack and Canelo has so many fanboys. I mean, listen, he's the face of boxing for a reason. When you're the most popular fighter in the world, you're gonna have a fan base. You're gonna have a fan base where, cálmate, yo lo voy a cambiar. You're gonna have a fan base. There's people within that fan base who've never even seen a whole Canelo fight from beginning to end. You know, your fan base is so huge that Canelo has casual fans who have only seen highlights, who don't stay up, who don't watch the whole fights or anything like that. They watch the highlight the next day, and they know that he's winning and that he's winning titles and that he's accomplished. I guarantee you, Canelo has fans who cannot name you 5 active boxers right now. But I'm not telling you that's the majority of his fans. He has a lot of hardcore fans too, who follow and know the sport of boxing. Hannibal, who you got? Haney versus Norman. I have not made a prediction yet on that fight. I will as they get closer. First, I had Brian Norman Jr. knocking him out. I was like, yo, Brian Norman Jr., he's going to stop him. But then, man, I seen Deon Haney training recently, and he's looking real good. So I'm not sure. I'm not able to make a prediction on that yet. I will, but I'm not ready, man. I'm not ready. This is a real good fight. It's a real good fight. Ramirez, Brian Norman destroys Haney, not even close. I don't know what people looking at. I mean, I don't know what you're looking at, bro. Destroys, like, I don't know what you're looking at. When you said undefeated fighter is going to get destroyed, I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Norman at 9. Hannibal. Haney's a huge step-up fight for Norman Jr. That fight can go either way. That's what I'm saying. Like, Brian Norman Jr. You see, that's what I don't understand. That we always bring up, not we, I don't do it, but fans bring up a different logic for everybody. Like, look, the same people, not the same, because there's fans, like I have Brian Norman Jr. winning, right? But there's a lot of people who say Brian Norman Jr. is going to destroy him, right? But those same people, when you're talking about a different fighter that they hate on, they're like, yeah, but who he beat? Who he beat to win that fight? But they don't say that about Brian Norman Jr. Who Brian Norman Jr. beat for you to feel like he's just going to watch Deon Haney and make it look easy? Who he got in his resume? So like some fighters, people dissect their resume to try to hate on him. And other fighters are like, nah, he's just going to beat him up. Because that's say he's strong and big. And it's going to be a good fight, man. Haney's not going to get washed. Okay, man, Jay Smith. Looking back, if Shakur knew for sure he would get the fight with Devin, does he take the 25%? I don't know. Honestly, it's hard for me to say. Because it's like I told you, us, stepping out from the outside looking in, we don't know how much money that was going to represent for Shakur, how much money he was going to lose out of that in taxes, how much money was actually going to go to him. Well, none of us know that. So it's easy. It's real easy for somebody who watches boxing on social media and TV to say, yo, he should have took the offer. You don't know what the fuck that offer was going to really represent. Boxing is a business. You cannot accept that it is a business when you want to, and then when you don't like it, nah, he should have did this. Okay. Boxing is a business. So it's hard for me to say, yeah, he should have took it or he would have took it. Nah. At the end of the day, we all have to understand, all of these guys have done $1 million deals. Yes, all of these guys have done $1 million deals, have been involved in boxing for years in championship fights. So that's why, listen, my peoples, the Kung Fu video that I did, and it's been two of them already, that's a metaphor. I'm actually doing a metaphor to show people, look, from watching Kung Fu on TV, I could simulate that I know Kung Fu. I'm going to be doing the 5 deadly venoms. I already did 2 of them. The tiger and the crane. So I'm showing you, while I might be doing these movements that I've seen in Kung Fu movies, I don't know shit about it. And anybody who's ever done anything in Kung Fu could watch one of my videos and be like, yeah, that motherfucker never done anything related to Kung Fu. That's the same way you look talking about what type of business decision a fighter should have made. You've never been involved in boxing. You've never been involved in any type of business related to boxing. You've never been involved with any boxer. But you know what type of decision he should have made. That's crazy. That's crazy. Ramirez, they've always been fighting these smaller fighters, and I would love to do a live with Jay Smith to give my opinion and make a clear, valid point. Okay, we could do it one day. But it's that you never show up when I'm sending the link out. I'll be like, yo, here's the link, my people. Here's the link. And then you're never there, bro. I invite people to join the show and come on the live with me and state your piece. And people be scared. When there's no link available, everybody wants to join. Everybody ready for the smoke. But when I tell you, come join the show right now, join the live, let's go. Everybody's, nah, what happened was scared to death. Scared to death. Come on, man. People don't want to get cooked out here. Ramirez, they tried the steroid allegations against Norman. This and then Tank and got Norman playing their game. And it's doing 18 weeks of testing, which is absurd because no other fighter doing that. So, well, it cannot be 18 weeks because Brian Norman Jr. and Deon Haney is for November. Is it 18 weeks? I'm not sure what time it is, but I think that the only thing that does to Brian Norman Jr. is a little bit of an inconvenience. That's it. It's not gonna be a big deal. You know what they're doing about the steroid testing is gonna be something to be annoying, but they're still gonna have to fight, and that's not gonna impact anything. And I'm gonna tell you what that's about. Simple as this. If I'm gonna fight you in November, right? I may not want to enroll in VADA right now. Why? Because the moment you enroll in VADA, you know that they can show up anywhere at any time to test you. So you could be with your family in a restaurant at a dinner. You could be hanging out with your kids. You could be, and they could just show up. So obviously, if I could start my testing closer to the fight, then I want to do that because I don't want you guys bothering me, annoying me. I want to start it whenever I have to. Whenever it shows that okay, I have to, okay, I'll start it. I'm not gonna start that shit 6 months away. Have these people annoying the shit out of me all the time. So they try to make it seem like, oh, it's suspect. It's not suspicious about it. Ain't absolutely nothing suspicious about it. Hannibal, Norman Jr. Proving he's no dirty fighter. Respect to him. Yeah, he said, you know what? If y'all gonna roll with that narrative, let me get up in here. Clean fighter, baby. Hannibal. Yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean, come on, Brian Norman Jr. is a fighter who he's never been in any type of controversy related to anything of that nature. Superman. Sandals looking slippery, but not in a good way. Ramirez. Shay Mosley did also say that taking blood from your body does deplete you. Yeah, but that's irrelevant. That's really irrelevant. Ain't nobody taking blood from your body. Like, It's not like they taking blood for your body the day of the fight or no shit like that. And Vada, I don't even know how the process that they follow, but they've been testing people forever, and everybody's been good for their fight. So, Superman, normal hit him, normal hit him. It'll be nasty work. But the thing is, Dev cannot run all day in there as a tussy. Yo, why you gotta call Devin a tussy, man? Stop it. Stop it. You're wrong for that. I'm gonna tell you something, and I'll remind you because I've said this before. Devin Haney's a fighter that if you try to corner him or if you chase him, if you have real good forward to get in front of him, he's gonna fight back. He's not gonna go in his shell and let you tee off on him. And I refer you to Vasyl Lomachenko. Vasyl Lomachenko used the footwork, used the angle, but Devin Haney never stopped letting his hands go. Even in between punches, bah, 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 he was getting hit and punching back. So Brian Norman Jr. has the type. He don't have Lomachenko type of footwork, but he has the footwork and the athleticism to apply pressure apply pressure on Devin Haney, stay in front of him, and Devin is gonna respond. You're gonna see Devin Haney counter punching, letting his hands fly. Gonna be a good fight. If Brian Norman Jr. lands with a big shot, we just have to see how Devin is going to react. Or if he gets dropped, will he be able to recover? JJ Zendejas, coffee, oatmeal, and a bagel. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good breakfast. My peoples, remember, this is an episode of Boxing for Breakfast. So if you're having your breakfast, bon appetit. I hate it when people don't speak French and they say that shit. I don't speak French. I should have never said it. Enjoy your breakfast, my people. Superman. Sausage, eggs, and cheese. And oatmeal and a coffee. Damn, man. Y'all going in. Y'all going in. J Jack, J Smith. Let's be real. $1 million purse. I don't care what you're doing. It takes 40 seconds to please do 2 minutes for a blood drive. I drive a tractor, training. I can get a text, email to stop and clean or not. Again, my brother, you and me, we average people. We not millionaires. We not doing the kinds of things that these people are doing. These people, Brian Norman Jr. is already making the type of money where he could hop on a plane and go for a weekend to Tahiti with his pops and a couple of chicks. You can't do that no more. When you enrolled in VITA testing, you're restricted. You can't, if you're an athlete, you have to notify them where you're going to be at all times. And there's places that you can't be because they can't go. If you wanted to go to an island for a weekend, you cannot go because they can't be there to test you if they wanted to. You can only be at places that they can randomly show up. And it's predetermined. This is where I'm going to be on these days at this hour. That's a hassle, bro. You can't tell me. For your case, it's different because you're working for a company, and when they want to randomly test you, they could just hit you up, bam, 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 like you just said. It's an easy process. They're not restricting you from doing anything. But when you're an athlete and you got money, it's a different ball game. It's a different ball game. That's stuff that you don't want to deal with if you don't have to. JJ said, bon appetit. The fuck out of here. We don't speak French to be saying that bullshit. Superman. My man needed that Toon Looney Tune. However they call him. The next big thing since sliced bread. Nah. Superman, crazy work, bro. JJ Sender has 38 likes, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, my people. Little 38 likes and whatnot. You know what we doing. Yo, my peoples. R30, my G. Bam. In the building. In the building. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we about to end this show. Appreciate you dropping in. it definitely felt like a great episode of Boxing for Breakfast. This is one that we got to go back and forth, a little bit of trash talking, a lot of people going on timeout, had to shut the fuck up. It was a good show, my peoples. So for those of you who did watch the whole thing, go to the beginning, watch the whole thing. And I'm gonna ask the Box Center family, I wanna ask you guys to start sharing these videos. Yes, yes. YouTube is gonna have me shadow banned. They don't wanna show my stuff around. I need you guys to do it for me. Share these videos, my people. Whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's a small clip somewhere, share these videos, my people. We're gonna be number one boxing channel anyways, but it helps out if you start sharing this content. My peoples, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Y'all already know it. This is Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. I appreciate every one of you. John Parham, JJ Sendejas, Superman, and everybody else who tuned in. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm Jay Smith, and this is it right here, man. I am him. Accept it. I'm him. Jay Smith, Jay Stradamus, Jay Ruski. It's me, my peoples. The human algorithm. I'm out of here. Peace.